All right, everybody. Thanks for hopping on here. We are episode 3 of Cool Cards with Brock and Nick. We have a special guest today, Kayla from Kayla.collects. Thanks for popping on with us, Kayla.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, if you're new to the show, what we do is we just take people come on, they show us cards that they think are cool cards, whether it be worth a penny, whether it be worth thousands of dollars. Because you see all these shows and everything going around, and kids walking around with a card that's worth $5,000, and they think that's the only, nice card there is out there, when we all have cards that are worth like probably really nothing or even like a penny, that are
Mhm.
just awesome cards that we all have in our collection type thing. We just want to be able to show that and show everybody what they are. So, Kayla, just if you can, just give us a quick little synopsis here. Is like how'd you get started in the hobby, doing what you're doing, everything like that with the media?
Yeah, so I started collecting in 2013. So I've actually been collecting longer than I haven't, which is crazy. But I grew up going to Tampa Bay Rays games, and I used to get autographs on baseballs, and I saw people getting autographs on cards one day, and I was like, well, I want cards to get autographs on. So I went to Target, bought 2 packs of 2013 Top Series on baseball, pulled a Manny Machado rookie card in my very first pack, which was my favorite non-Rays player at the time, and I've been hooked ever since. But the whole media side of my collecting journey probably started around 2022. I had kind of started showing my collection and stuff like that beforehand, but like actually putting my face out there, my name out there. I previously actually didn't go by Kayla Collects. I was Card Collector 8117 for the longest time. I created my Instagram account in 2016, so almost 10 years now, which is crazy in itself.
Yes.
But I kind of just wanted to be the person that younger Kayla didn't have. And I still don't really see many females that are forward facing in the collecting space. And so I kind of just utilized my joy for passion or my joy for collecting, and then like my passion for sports, and kind of went hand in hand together. And I think it comes off really genuinely in my videos because it is genuine excitement and it's not anything I'm trying to force.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, do you go around to, like, do you still go to, say, like, Rays games and stuff like that? Do you go there? Is it more all for business, or do you just enjoy going to games?
Just enjoy going for games.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't have any business with like any professional teams at this point. I mean, it'd be exciting in the future if that can happen, but not right now.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll start. You send us your 5 cards. We'll throw a few up there. If you just want to talk about them, and then if we have any questions about it, we'll ask you, and like pretty much what the cards mean to you. Maybe where you got it. Did you know, is it something you pulled? Is it given to you? Whatever you want to talk about, just talk about. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, people that know my collection, I collect memories. So all of these have a story to them.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So here's the first one.
Yeah. So an Evan Longoria, Matt Moore dual patch auto. I actually got this recently, earlier this year. This is from 2013 Gypsy Queen. But I think this really just emulates the beginning of my collecting story. These were two guys that were prominent in those Rays teams that got me into baseball and then also got me into cards. And I actually only ever got both of their autographs once, like as a fan. And so when this popped up on eBay, I put a pretty good, I bid pretty good on it. It went for less than I was hoping for, but yeah, really stoked to pick this up. And I think it's also cool that both of the patches correlate with the jerseys they're wearing in the pictures.
No, that's an awesome card, because like I'm not really big into the Gypsy Queen cards or anything like that. But those are, I mean, that just looks good. It's the patches look cool. They're clean. Anything like that. You have any questions or anything? No. All right. So go to the next one here.
So Sabrina Ionescu Revolution Auto. I've had the opportunity to meet Sabrina 3 times,
Okay.
actually maybe four. But at the Mint Collective in 2022, I was kind of an ambassador of the show, and Sabrina was also talking on a panel as I also talked on a panel at that event.
Hmm.
And before she went on to her panel, the one of the showrunners, Blake, he knew that I Sabrina's one of my favorite basketball players ever, probably number one still, and he knew that, and so he took me behind the scenes, and I got to meet her and talked to her for a while before she went on her panel. And later that night, a couple women in the hobby, we were all having a dinner, all ripping packs, and I pulled a Sabrina Ionescu auto.
Mhm.
So for me to meet her, one was blow younger Kayla's mind, but then also to pull an auto of her in the same day that I met her for the first time, uh, you can't make that up.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome story behind it. Because that, I mean, that's not like a little base card either. I mean, that's the fact that you pulled that one, there while you're talking, we got to meet her and everything. That's sweet.
Hmm.
Sweet. All right, let me go. Sorry. There we go. Here's the next one.
So this is a card from the 2023 National in Chicago. The Woman in the Hobby booth had two Chicago Red Stars players signing at our booth, Penelope Hawking and Ali Schlegel. And if you guys haven't seen the video, I definitely recommend you check it out. But Parkside partnered with Women in the Hobby to give away cards, and Penelope wanted to do a pack opening. So I picked one pack from the giant box that we had because she was on the front. But in that pack was her one of one from that set, which we had absolutely no idea. It wasn't staged at all. But it was insane that that happened and we were able to capture that on camera. None of us knew what was going to transpire. And so they, excuse me, also had autograph cards that they were signing. And so I was like, I need a crazy inscription to just keep this moment because Penelope kept the card. So I was like, I can't keep the cards. I got to have a way to have this memory for myself. So I had her sign the card and write, I pulled my 101, you picked the pack. So no one has this. So it's a 101
Yeah,
by itself. But it's something that is really, really cool to me because I also have stayed in contact with Penelope and I try to watch her play in person at least once a year.
yeah,
It's really cool having that memory and also being able to root her on.
yeah. That's sweet. Because that's, you can't put a price on that one. I mean, that's just
Mhm.
this, like you said. I mean, most people who we talk to about stuff like this, it's just like, oh yeah, this is cool. I like this one. You have a story between every one, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Any other question, buddy?
Mhm.
No, nothing. You don't want to talk today. All right. All right.
So this is probably actually one of my more expensive cards. I think I kind of overpaid, but I wanted it for my collection. So this is Hunter Woodall's 2024 Topps Chrome Superfractor 1 of 1 from the first Topps Chrome Olympic set that came out this past year. I've followed him and his wife Tara's Olympic journey for since they were in college. So a long time, maybe like over 5 years, I would say. And when I saw that they were included in this set, I was hoping I could get a really, really cool card of each of them. And this popped up on eBay, and I was able to send an offer, and they accepted. And to make this even cooler, when he won the gold medal in his event, I posted it on Instagram, and he liked the post, which is kind of crazy that to think within maybe 48 hours of winning a gold medal, he saw my post and liked it. So that's just another thing. And I think I would really only ever get rid of this card if he wanted it himself.
Yeah.
It's just something I think I'll hold for a long time.
And you said that's called. Is that you said it's a superfractor?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
sweet.
it's a 101. And I actually almost have the entire rainbow of this card. I'm only missing the black out of 10, which crazy. I purchased the black out of 10 and for some reason it got like stolen in the mail. And I have not seen another black out of 10 pop up anywhere. And then I'm also missing, I think maybe like the green out of 99 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, if we ever see him, we'll let you know. That way you can snag him up. But yeah, that's sweet. That one.
Thank you.
All right.
So this one has a really fun inscription on it.
Mm.
And the picture all ties in together with a certain aspect of mine and Austin's relationship. So if people have ever seen any of my content, you've probably seen my Austin Hayes PC. And recently, a lot of people have asked me, like, why do you collect him? And I've told the story so many times that I figured everyone would know. But I guess more people are getting exposed to my content, which is awesome. So in 2017, Austin Hayes was on the Frederick Keys. And that was my first time at that stadium, was their opening day. I just moved to the area in Northern Virginia, and it was like about half an hour. But the way that stadium's set up is their dugout doesn't lead to their clubhouse. Their clubhouse is at the top of like the seating bowl, so they have these set of stairs that they walk up and down through the concourse to get to their clubhouse. And so after the game, I was getting high fives from players. I'm like, this is crazy that I can get this close to players and have that experience. So he actually gave me his game used broken bat that game, which I didn't know that happens in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
That year, he goes on to Double A, skips Triple A, goes to the majors, becomes the first person drafted in 2016 to make it to the majors. And the story kind of evolves where the following year, I interview him for my journalism class. The team was like, you'll maybe have 10 minutes to talk with him. He ended up sitting down with me for like 40 minutes, answered all my questions. And the next year, he was rehabbing in Frederick, which is where I met him. And at that point, he had signed a lot for me. I didn't want him to like do anything. Like I was like, I don't need anything else. I want to give him something. So I actually gave him the choice between Skittles and Sour Patch. He chose Skittles. That game, he hits a home run, and I was like, it might be the Skittles. So
Skittles.
then he's
Yeah.
rehabbing in Norfolk. I give him Skittles. He hits a home run. This streak goes on 5 consecutive games over the span of 3 years where I give him Skittles and he hit a home run, which is crazy. Like random games that I just decided to show up to.
Mhm.
One he like hit a home run 3 days before I came and he still hit a home run when he was on. Like a cold streak, hadn't hit one like 20 games, he hits a home run. But this card in particular, it actually is a Skittle game. And he robbed Vlad Jr. of a home run, and then his next at bat, he hit a home run. And this card is picturing his celebration after he robbed Vlad Jr. of the home run.
Awesome.
This is his 2020 Stadium Club card, Sepia. And I had him sign this for me and inscribe Skittle Power just to kind of hold this memento of that joke that transpired between us. And that streak is no longer alive, but it's really funny because Cedric Mullins was in on the joke, Mountcastle was in on the joke, and Mullins even talked about it in a segment in MLB Network. But this card to me just is a staple of my Austin Hayes collection, and it also just encapsulates so much of the story that has happened between Austin and I.
Yeah, definitely. That is sweet. That story's sweet. I mean, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I left out some of the details, but
Uh,
yeah, it's crazy. And I was like, to think of it now, 5 random games over
yeah.
the span of 3 seasons is crazy that it just happened to be games where he hit a home run. I'm like, I couldn't do that again if I tried.
No. If I was going to be asking for you to FedEx me like Skittles every day. Yeah. But no, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So go back to the big screen here. So, Kayla, I mean, I can't thank you enough for popping on here with us. I mean, that those stories you have, those cards are awesome. Any you want to plug anything you're doing, social media, anything like that?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me on Instagram, Kayla.collects. That's primarily where I post everything. I'm not really on other platforms, but I do write for Collectibles on Sports Illustrated, so you can find my articles there. Hobby News Daily is also another site where you can find some of my previous writings. We are revamping that, so I should start writing for Hobby News Daily again here soon. And I also write for the Slab Stocks Daily newsletter. And they also post that on Instagram. So make sure to check out all Slab Stocks content. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Definitely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Brock, you have any questions for Kayla?
No.
No, nothing today. No. All right. Yeah. So Kayla, again, thank you so much for joining us here. This is awesome. And whenever you want to pop back on, we'll definitely take you as a guest.
Awesome.
So
Thank you for having me.
thank you.